There are many of us that are called to the path of the creative, or we could even say the path of a healer. I'll go over that in this video as well. And of course, there's the empowered creatrix, the bigger call out, because there's a lot of women that are acting in truly harmonized ways, rising up in their power that is balanced and whole. It's not aggressive or vengeful. And so to all of you who are ready to rise up in more powerful ways to align yourself, to be able to command and direct in an empowered and sacred way, this is for you. We'll be looking at how you can take charge, yet remain in flow simultaneously, how you can ignite logic while staying intuitive, and more so being consistent in how you command and direct the universe within you. Hello, if you're new to my channel, I'm Natalie. Thank you for being here. So I wanted to share very briefly the essence about Team Goo and this container. So the goo is short for the word gurus, and many of you don't know, but really a guru is a guide or a teacher. And when you look at Sanskrit, gu, it stands for darkness, ru means light. So a guru is a guide who brings what is hidden or in the darkness to the light. And that's what Team Goo is about, illuminating your unique path to get your truth and your magic of your sacred mission and that sacred purpose that drives it into the world further. Because I truly believe that you can build your sacred mission without having to sacrifice the values that you hold and your soul. So I've been weaving in to these workings for a very long time. In fact, I was just thinking about this. It's been about 25 years. I've been looking at this realm of what used to, in my book, used to be called marketing, used to be called sales or business development. The new words that I use for marketing is magic. And you know what? Sales is just part of the magic. So the word marketing is inner standing. You stand from within, and it's understanding your divine magic. What are your unique gifts? What are you here to bring through? And what's the lens that you see through? Because that is the unique magic that you hold. That is the magic. That is, and when you really understand that, that is the marketing. And then when you talk about the word sales, all you're doing is saying, this is my divine gift and this is who I help. So you're just telling people about your gift. That's it. About your service. That's it. Simple. It's really simple when we like see through all the BS of all of this patriarchal competitive crap. So what I have seen is that there's highly creative people, or highly intuitive people, spiritual people, people that are called into the healing modalities that have really difficult times running their sacred mission. And so that sacred mission universe tends to see a lot of challenges. So I started to think about, well, why is that? So that's what we're going to zero in this video. And I just want to note that the word healer is sort of a misnomer because we're all healers. Every single one of us, every animal and living creation magic within this, what we call planetary being, is a healer because we all should be healing ourselves. We are healers. I call us cosmic wanderers. When we're called into realms that are in need of massive service, which the earth has been for many thousands of years. When we come to serve and assist, we really get that call from a primordial place. And so one of my missions is to let people know that you actually are the healer that you've been waiting for. So when we're called into a healing practice, really what we're doing is we're creating clear and divine energetic channels through our beings to bring through words of empowerment or modalities of empowerment that allows the other animal or human body to heal. So it's like we are helping them to see through into hidden places. So we're all healers. I just really want to make sure I make that connection here, because you actually are the healer. You've been waiting, but we often need guidance and a container of facilitation to assist. So that's really what a healer does, is the facilitation and assistance to help. But what I wanted to really zero in on is, why do those that are called into the practices of healing modalities and helping to assist and heal animals or the earth or humans, why do they have harder times running the sacred missions? Well, there's obviously a lot of inversions in this realm. It's very difficult for us to be here. And what I've seen in the evolution of my sacred mission for the past 8 years or so is that many programs that are running are programmed from this inversion place. So the patriarchy has put those programs there on purpose. What this has done is it actually creates blocks. It creates a hindrance of sacred missions, because these blockages and these programs are running. And often, even when we think that we've seen them or healed them, we haven't gotten to the layers and the depth of which it needs to be cleared. And this obviously can be from this incarnation, but it can be from these past incarnations. For example, many men and women mostly, let's be honest about that, who acted in ways of healing were hanged or worse, burned or worse. And so carrying those pains is very heavy. And I have a video on my Awakening Magic channel that you may love. It's the female lineage of the Blue Flame Wisdom Keepers. Check that out if you get an opportunity, because there's insights there that may assist. And then I also have another video on this channel, the Team Goo channel, about healing your self-worth wound, unlocking the power of your sacred mission. And in that, I discuss more ways to really work around this self-worth wound that inflicts many of us who have had those incarnations that ended in horrific ways. And so, what do I mean when I'm saying directing and commanding? Many may feel that those are really harsh or aggressive words, but they're not. When you're running your sacred mission, there must be this essence of taking leadership to new levels. You direct yourself to be consistent, to build resiliency, to take stand for what's right. You command the essence of courage and bravery, but you also surrender your being, knowing that there's times for action and times for flow. And these are really, what we're really talking about is bridging masculine and feminine energies within us. So we have the universal laws working within us, which are the push-pull, pull-push, the cause, effect, cause, the take, give, take. That is organic creation processes. And you literally build a universe within you, because you are one. We all are a universe. We are the planetary being that we call Earth. We are the plants. We are animals. We are each other, as much as we are actually very extremely unique in this construct as well. So let's break down the root meanings of words. This will really help. Command. Command is a great word, but only if you knew the true etymology. Command means to commit, to entrust. And what does entrust mean? Entrust means reliance on the veracity, on the integrity. So command means you entrust through integrity, and you commit to yourself to create and empower your sacred mission. You command it to be so, and so you do. It's those powerful words, and so it is. That is commanding through will. It is strength. Now, directing, that's about know where you're going. You must have a strategy, yet within that strategy, find flow within that to evolve. The strategy is a foundation. The flow weaves in where it needs to. But since you're commanding your mission, you entrust to yourself the ability to direct, to see, to plan, and intuit exactly where your sacred mission ship must go. So those words, when you know the root meanings, are empowering. They're not aggressive. And there is a huge difference between those two. Empowerment versus aggression. Very different. So getting to root meanings of words means it's just something we must do every day. So I wanted to share a few reasons that I'm seeing a lot of sacred mission owners kind of crumbling or creating these cycles that aren't empowering. So one of them is many are being challenged in finding a balanced workflow, using a strong strategy with operational efficiencies. Now, many of you might think, oh God, those are horrible, horrible words, aren't they? Corporate-y, they're all corporate-y, those strategy words and operational efficiencies, but they are and they aren't, because, there's a lot of deplorable corporations that have turned those words into gross words, but on the other end of the spectrum, they're not. They're absolutely 100% necessary. So we're going to use an analogy of the sacred mission ship. So these words are necessary: operational efficiencies, strategy, because you want to keep your sacred mission ship floating, but more so you want to keep it moving. Now, strategy is a word at the root meaning that comes from a Greek word agos, which means leader. There's also another element to this, which means to lead. So it means to move, to lead, to drive forward. Strategy means to lead and to drive. So you must lead and drive your sacred mission ship. Otherwise, that baby is going to be floating in the middle of nowhere. You'll hit land and crash. You'll hit a rock and a coral reef and nobody will even know you're there. So think of strategy as a foundation to what you're doing. It's really a map of why you're even doing what you're doing, and how you're doing it. Now, the operational efficiency side is we must be organized. I've seen missions that have such a beautiful ethos that have totally crumbled because the leader or the captain of the sacred mission ship just wouldn't get organized, like keeps choosing not to. And that's a pretty consistent way to take your sacred mission ship down, because what happens is, as you take on, let's say you try to bring on people to help, and then you don't delegate clearly, there isn't clear communication, there isn't organization. And without all of those things, there's just no way that there can be this thing called success or this thing called moving forward, because it's just not even possible. Getting organized is a key component. So there needs to be a leader at the helm. And that if you would rather not be a leader at the helm, the captain of the ship, and you'd rather just ride the ship, well, that might work for some, but it really doesn't work for the many. And in 25 years, I've seen many scenarios, and it's very clear what does and does not work. And so the sacred mission leaders, the captains, who really direct and command in their power, using empathy and beautiful ways, and being organized and clearly communicating, they win every single time. Every single time. So here's a solution I'd like to bring to the table. It's looking into the holes, the gaps in your ship, sacred mission ship. Ask yourself really tough questions, because it requires it. So, do I even have a strategy? Do I have room and flexibility in that strategy for growth and evolution? Is my presence out there in the world matching who I am today? Am I organized? Do I even have an organizational structure, like operating efficiently or not efficiently? Do I clearly communicate what I need? Do I share with those that are trying to assist me what success looks like for them so that they know how to assist me? These are all really difficult questions that must be answered. And within those, you can gain the clarity of, oh, I found the holes. Now I need to fix the holes. How do I fix the holes? Well, you don't use gum and you don't use Band-Aids. You really get to the source of the problem. So maybe it's time to gather a round table and get the assistance that you need. Look at how that needs to be rectified, right? On the other hand, ensure that you're ready to command and lead, because your power and truth is needed when you step in as a leader of a sacred mission. And we're just going to run with this analogy, you need to want to become the magnificent captain of your sacred mission ship. So the second thing that I see a lot is there's an issue in valuing the work, meaning there's a pricing strategy problem, because there's some coming to terms with this evil thing that we call money, and then valuing your work and really serving. So there's an inverted world. We have to deal with this moronic thing called money, and it's an imperative thing. So we need to switch our lens. We need to look at it as an energy. Now, we have to be very balanced in this, because if you get drawn into that thing called money, This creates greed. This creates, I want more. This creates jealousy and envy and all the lowest of low frequencies. But then on the other hand of the spectrum, the balance is value what you do and know that what you're doing is unique. Because if there are 30, let's say, healers in a room, I guarantee there's not one that's going to be the same as you. Not one. More, 3,000, doesn't matter how many. There's no twin in that way that does everything the same and talks the same and has the same perfect lens as you. So remember that. And then also remember that when you're looking at how to price something, a service, a product, whatever, your sacred services, your unique divine gifts that you're providing to the world, what you want to remember is don't copy. Create from your own space. Know who you're serving. Know your niche, as I call them, avatars. Know who you serve, and then you create for them. That's it. You don't create for anybody else. You're creating for them and them alone. You create this one-to-one relationship with them. Know them, know their stories, know how they feel, know what they need, because you probably were the very person at one time that you can assist, or even now, right? We really, again, we're healing as we heal. That's how this all works. I have another video in this Team Goo channel called Embracing Simplicity in a World of Materialistic Expansion. And what I talk about is this revolutionary path to true service through this lens of simplicity. And I actually discuss a lot of ways to thrive again in this by embracing simplicity. So that may serve as some other answers in there as well. Then the third thing that I want to go over, so health. Health issues cause burnout, period. And then what happens, that burnout causes not being able to get back into the swing of things. And so people are missing large chunks of time. I mean, months and months go by and nothing has changed or resolved. To answer, is this a solution? I'm actually bringing forth work called vibration medicine. There's a link below if you want to go check it out. So through my own healing, because I got very, very ill, and I was able to uncover why, the exact root, deepest reason why. And what I've understood is that basically many of us have dealt with such massive amounts of chronic stress that our bodies and spirits get absolutely depleted. We're looking at 70% depletion, 30% depletion. Now imagine when you think about operating off of 20% of your battery. Whew, man, struggle bus, right? Struggle bus. So being a captain takes a lot of energy, focus, diligence, resilience. So when we're in a depleted state, we literally can't do the sacred mission. And so this really requires a care on deeper levels than maybe many haven't taken on before. Because it's not just about spirituality. It's not about, I need to meditate more. Maybe that's a part of it. But it's this physical body. See, the physical body is literally energy that's vibrating at a slower rate than the energetic bodies that surround us and surround all things. That's what allows us to see matter or physicality, a tree even, a plant. It's a vibration that's different than other vibrations that we can't see. So the answers, I can tell you this, are not found in the mainstream, if you catch my drift. They're not found in the mainstream for animals nor humans. So we have to look where they don't want us to look. We have to go down paths that have been blocked or hidden, because it's about strengthening our body and cleansing our astral and other energetic bodies, and then purifying and giving the nutrients that our physical bodies needs, right? So the chronic stress creates mineral imbalance. Mineral imbalance causes metabolic dysfunction. That is it. Root cause to all things, because oxidative stress has begun to take hold. Iron is getting stuck in the tissues because there's no bioavailable copper in the body. So this means constant fatigue, constant burnout cycles over and over and over and over, because the root has not been addressed. There hasn't been deeper cleansing of the astral, emotional body, right? Because that's all connected. And I know this because I was there and I spent some time being a case study for natural healers. And when I became a case study for natural healing group, I was like, I need to look deeper. because there's answers, but this group just doesn't know. So I did that. I went deeper and I went deeper and I went deeper and I went deeper. The solution is looking deeper. It's looking at mineral dysregulation. It looks at how that's affected your metabolic state, meaning energy production, energy distribution systems, and the like. So one big thing that could offer some assistance in the now is nutrition-wise, just a simple thing to look at. So if you're watching this video, you probably eat organic already. You don't eat poison, and that's a piece of it. But do you eat like your ancient ancestors? That is a question. Do you come from ancient British, Irish, Scottish roots, Germanic roots? If so, eat like them. Ancient. I don't mean today. Ancient. Are you from the Mediterranean? Eat like your ancient Mediterranean ancestors, right? So that might mean tons of fish, whereas today you may not eat any fish. It means, eating beef liver. And that sounds horrible, but there's, desiccated formats in, capsules that you can take. There's a lot of ways to get the nutrients that you need. Because if you start to give the body the nutrients that it needs, what happens is it can start to turn on again. So we want to turn on our energetic systems again. We need to spark the flow. We need to really bring that back, because when our body is able to turn on all the enzymatic functions and do all the things that it needs to do, we get more bioavailable. Copper being the key, but not the only thing, right? There's a lot of other things that support and lift that to allow iron to be taken out of the tissues, oxidative stress to decrease. What that allows is the primordial dragon energies and sacred energies to start moving within you again at a more rapid, powerful pace. And so fatigue becomes something of the past. And there's no cycles anymore. You just create. And so there are deeper things to look at. And what I want to also say is no one is broken. There's no animal or human that's broken, just imbalanced. There's dysregulation happening. And so there's a path to break free, and it doesn't live in the mainstream places. Again, if you catch my drift. There's one more thing that I'd like to offer, which is a book as a solution. It's a big portion of my training is based on, I'm going to the Root Cause Protocol Institute, and the RCP Institute is what it's called. And I'm also becoming a master healer, going to the Wild Rose College of Herbal Medicine. And so when I've combined all these practices, what has come from it is the vibration medicine practice. And it's a huge solution from my lens. And so the book that I want to offer you to take a look at is called Cure Fatigue by Morley Robbins. And of course, there's more information down below if you want to check out the vibration medicine aspects. So these are just a few things that I wanted to focus on today to assist and to empower your sacred mission. And I think that many of you that are called into this channel in general, or my Awakening Magic channel, is that you are the rebels, you're the revolutionaries like me. And there is so much power when we embrace simplicity again, when we live with an unapologetic passion for change, and we have this unwavering belief of the collective impact that we can actually make, because I truly believe that we are transforming the world, and we can transform it even faster. And it just is these acts of simplicity and getting into these root meanings of many things. So I hope this video helps to awaken more of your sacred mission magic, and to pour more of your sacred mission purpose into it. And subscribe to get more insights for sacred soul path illumination. And I thank you so much for watching.